There have been some insane episodes and arcs in One Piece, but some episodes and arcs are, well, what even is this? So, let's go over all episodes in One Piece that you can just skip entirely, as they're just filler episodes and add nothing to the story. Alright, we're kicking things off with episodes 54 to 60, aka the Warship Island Arc, which is the very first filler arc in the series. It happens right after Logtown, and it's all about Luffy and the crew helping a girl named Apis and a super old dragon get back home to Lost Island. Sounds pretty cool, right? Well, no. This arc was straight up boring and just not it. That said, there were some fun moments, like Apis' cooking almost killing Zoro or Luffy eating Zoro off the ship when he's napping. Okay, I guess the only fun parts were just Zoro suffering. But the worst part with these episodes? The massive plot holes. For example, in the Punk Hazard arc, Luffy, Zoro, and Usopp are shocked that dragons exist, even though they literally met one here. And don't even get me started on Zoro cutting metal chains in this arc, despite his whole fight with Mr. One later, depending on him learning how to cut metal. So yeah, just do yourself a favor and skip this arc. Next up, we've got filler episodes 98 and 99, and these episodes exist purely to stretch out the Alabasta arc, but trust me, you do not need them. Like, do you even remember Rasa? No? Exactly. If you somehow do, drop a comment below because you're truly a One Piece superfan. Another skippable episode in the Alabasta arc is episode 102, Ruins and Lost Ways. That said, this one is actually pretty hilarious. Luffy starts hallucinating from dehydration, Chopper straight up passes out from the heat, and Zoro tries to stop Luffy, only for them to knock each other out like idiots. When they finally wake up, they somehow stumble into an ancient ruin with a poneglyph. So yeah, it's a fun watch, but totally skippable as it's completely filler. Next up, we've got episodes 131 to 135, aka the Post-Alabasta Filler Arc. This is just 5 standalone filler episodes right after Crocodile gets wrecked and Nico Robin joins the crew. Although you can absolutely skip these, there are some cool moments, like Chopper and Robin bonding for the first time, Sanji helping a young marine cook, and a flashback of how Zoro met Johnny and Yosaku. Like, Zoro literally fights a guy named Dick, so, maybe that alone makes it worth watching? Well, yeah, probably. Heading into episodes 136 to 138, we have the Goat Island Arc, and this one is weirdly divisive. Some people love it, others hate it. Basically, the Straw Hats land on an island full of goats, yes, really, and meet an old guy named Zenny, a former debt collector who now dreams of becoming a pirate. The crew helps him build a ship while also dealing with some annoying marines. And it's okay, I guess. Like, there are some dumb moments, like Luffy almost drowning, again, but overall, it's at least watchable. And right after the Goat Island arc, we get another filler arc, episodes 139 to 143, aka the Ruluka Island Arc. Like, seriously? 13 episodes of straight filler. Well, Ruluka Island is run by some ex-pirate turned tyrant, and he's got a scientist, Henzo, studying the mysterious rainbow mist, which swallowed up his childhood friends years ago. And the Straw Hats, being the heroes they are, of course help Henzo out. But fun fact, right at the end of the arc, there's a ship falling from the sky that almost hits the Mary. Why is that a fun fact? Well, because in the 4Kids version of One Piece, this falling ship straight up killed the Straw Hats. No, I'm not even kidding. Check out this video to find out more of the crazy things 4Kids did. Anyway, plot holes and more filler. So, skip! Now we get episodes 196 to 206, aka the G8 arc. And yeah, technically, it's filler, but I wouldn't skip this one. Why? Well, ask any One Piece fan what their favorite filler arc is, and guess what? They'll probably say G8. After leaving Skypiea, the Straw Hats accidentally land smack in the middle of a marine stronghold that's basically impossible to escape. What follows is absolute chaos, sneaking around, disguises, and Luffy's iconic fourth wall-breaking peace sign. Also, Captain Jonathan is one of the best marine characters in the series. Dude's actually smart. So yeah, while you can skip it, I highly recommend watching. It's that good. A not-so-great filler arc, though, is the Ocean's Dream arc, episodes 220 to 224. It's actually based on a One Piece video game. So, a mysterious seahorse erases the Straw Hats' memories of each other, so they wake up on the Mary totally confused, thinking they're strangers. The only one who isn't affected is Robin, and she has to piece everything together. It's a cool concept, but incredibly annoying after a while. One interesting moment, though, is Luffy versus Zoro, where Zoro slashes Luffy in the exact spot where he later gets his scar from Aka Inu. So some fans actually think Zoro gave Luffy his scar because of this scene, which is of course wrong. But yeah, skip. Right after the Ocean's Dream arc, we get straight into episodes 225 to 226, aka the Foxy's Return arc. Yep, you heard that right. Foxy is back. So basically, the Straw Hats rescue Foxy, Porch, and Hamburg from a storm, only to find out that the sexy Foxy has been hijacked. Foxy, of course, tries to get his crew and ship back, which he does with Luffy's help. But then, in true Foxy fashion, he betrays the Straw Hats immediately after. Shocking, I know. The only good moment? Afro Luffy is back. But yeah, you can definitely skip this one. Next up, episodes 279 to 283, aka the Enies Lobby flashback episodes. These are literally just recaps of how and why each Straw Hat joined the crew and decided to follow Luffy. So, just skip these and jump straight into the action at Enies Lobby as the crew's trying to save Robin. Now we've got episodes 291 to 292, and also episode 303, which are these weird filler special episodes that take the Straw Hats back to the Edo period. Zero connection to the main story, but some people find them fun. But come on, you're in the middle of the Enies Lobby arc with some insane fights going on. Like Chopper literally just revealed his monster point in episode 290, and now you want me to sit through 2 filler episodes for some random historical throwback? Nah, I'd rather stay in the action. After Enies Lobby, we've got episodes 317 to 319, the Post-Enies Lobby specials. Honestly, these are kind of fun and can be a nice little breather after all the heavy stuff that went down in Water 7 and Enies Lobby. The Yagura episode with Luffy is surprisingly sad, the Zoro episode is hilarious. Zoro becoming a big brother, doing housework, and dodging the Straw Hats because he's embarrassed? Gold. And the Sanji cooking episode is pretty good too, so yeah, they're skippable but not a bad watch if you're in the mood for a light break. Leaving Water 7, we move into the Ice Hunter arc, episodes 326 to 335. Now, some people dig this arc, but others not so much. There are a few cool moments like the main bad guys being bounty hunters, the Straw Hats fighting to get their Jolly Roger back, and Luffy's fight against Don Ichino, which was actually pretty decent. But honestly, 10 episodes for a filler arc is way too long. So yeah, I'd say skip this one. Next up, we've got episode 366, the Chopperman Special. But hold up, before you get too excited, this isn't the real Chopper. It's a spin-off where we see a superhero called Chopperman who is of course based around the real Chopper. So yeah, still cool. The rest of the Straw Hats also have their own counterparts, and some of them are villains, like Zoro Killer. It's basically a weird alternate universe episode that doesn't add anything to the main story. Alright, we've reached episodes 382 to 384, and guess what? It's the Spa Island Arc. After the craziness of the Thriller Bark arc, you'd think we're in for a nice break, but nope, Foxy's back. Yeah, I know, we're all instantly annoyed. However, I guess it's not all bad, because we get to see how Brook's meshing with the Straw Hats now that he's officially part of the crew, which is kind of fun. But honestly, let's be real, the only thing anyone really remembers from this arc is, well, Nami. Need I say more? So, skip this one unless you want to see more of Foxy. Now, at episodes 406 and 407, we once again have the Boss Luffy historical special episodes, and I don't have to say anything other than skip. Ah yes, right in the middle of the intense Impel Down arc, we hit episodes 426 to 429, and guess what? It's the Little East Blue arc. Just when you're ready to dive deep into the action, this filler arc comes out of nowhere to mess with your flow. These episodes are only there to set up the movie's strong world and introduce Shiki, the main antagonist of the movie. Sure, there's a little bit of nostalgia when the Straw Hats visit a replica of their hometown, but honestly, it's just not worth it. Next up, we have a special retrospective before Marineford, with episodes 457 to 458. These 2 episodes are basically just recap episodes, where Luffy reflects on his childhood with Ace and their reunion in Alabasta. Then, we get a recap of the 3 admirals being summoned to prepare for the Marineford War, which includes clips of their past exploits, though Akainu is of course left out since he's still a mystery. Next up, we've got episode 492, The Strongest Tag Team, Luffy and Toriko, and episode 542, Save Chopper. These are special crossover episodes with Toriko, the iconic food-obsessed anime character. If you're into crossover episodes and enjoy Toriko, go ahead and give them a watch. But if you're here for the main One Piece story, just skip them. Though, I'll admit, it's always funny watching someone try to eat Chopper. After the epic Fishman Island arc, seriously, good job for making it through, we've got the Z's Ambition arc between episodes 575 to 578. This is another filler arc, and it only exists to set up One Piece film Zed, where basically the Straw Hats run into the Neo Marines led by Shuzo, a former Marine with a vendetta. So if you're going to watch the movie, you can watch these episodes. Next up, we've got History's Strongest Collab. No, literally, that's the title of episode 590. It's a crossover between One Piece, Toriko, and Dragon Ball Z, which is, of course, iconic, with Luffy, Toriko, and Goku in a tournament where they're all battling for the world's most delicious piece of meat. Sounds about right, right? Meanwhile, Zoro, Vegeta, and Zebra are just fighting throughout the entire episode. So if you're into crossover filler episodes, this one's for you, but if you're just trying to stick to the main story, you can easily skip it. After Punk Hazard and capturing Caesar, we get the Caesar Retrieval Filler arc in episodes 626 to 628. The Straw Hats are trying to get Caesar Clown to dress Rosa, but guess what? He gets kidnapped off their ship. And while Caesar's not exactly anyone's favorite person, Luffy and Law have to team up to get him back. But here's the thing, this arc is really bad. Like, Luffy and Law literally are up against the wall against this guy. Like, seriously? This was so annoying to watch. Although, we do get to see one of the Kung Fu Dugong's Luffy befriended back in Alabasta. And this little guy is now also a pirate and have even learned hockey. But yeah, skip! After over 100 episodes of no fillers, we get the Silvermine arc from episodes 747 to 750 right after Dressrosa. And this arc serves almost entirely as a prelude to the One Piece Gold movie. So if you're planning on watching the movie, this arc might be worth it. Otherwise, it's just straight up filler. That said, if you're a fan of Bartolomeo, and who isn't, these episodes might actually be fun. Right after the Zou arc, we get episodes 780 to 782, which cover the Marine Rookie arc during their journey to Whole Cake Island. So what happens here? Well, Luffy of course eats the entire food supply on their way to save Sanji, so the crew ends up raiding a Marine base to restock. Now, it's kind of interesting seeing what life is like for the Marines in this arc, but here's the thing. Luffy once again struggles way too much against these weak antagonists. It makes him look much weaker than usual, which is honestly just frustrating. Now, in the middle of the Wano arc, we hit episodes 895 to 896 with the Cidre Guild Arc. Yeah, I know, it's frustrating when a filler arc gets tossed in out of nowhere, especially during the intensity of Wano. But it's because the One Piece Stampede movie was coming out. But although we all just skipped it, right? There's one thing that you might want to stick around for. That thing, or rather person, is Boa Hancock. Come on, anytime Hancock is on screen, it's worth watching. Episode 907 is the 20th anniversary special episode, and it's a pretty wild one. In this alternate universe, Luffy's pirate journey is retold with some major differences. For example, Garp is a pirate instead of a Marine. Weird, right? Also, Luffy meets a character named Anne, who was actually Oda's second attempt at creating a Nami-like character, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's a special episode right in the middle of Wano, so skip. Now, episodes 1029 to 1030, which are the Utah's past episodes, and they're part of the setup for One Piece Film Red. But you're crazy if you watch these episodes. Why? Like, the episode before, we saw Luffy versus Kaido. So I don't want to have an episode where the Straw Hats discuss that they want to go to Utah's concert. So definitely skip. Now, finally, episode 1084, Time to Depart, which is the last filler episode at the moment. But this is exactly what you want from filler episodes. Because right before the Straw Hats set sail from Wano, they all say their goodbyes to their comrades. Luffy meets with the 9 Red Scabbards, the Mink Tribe, and Tama one last time. Meanwhile, Zoro visits the graves of Yasui and Pedro, and Sanji does his own little farewell by selling the last of his soba in the Flower Capital. So skip it if you want, but I wouldn't. It's a very nice filler episode. Have you ever skipped a One Piece episode? Be honest and let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and watch this video next.